When people read today's gospel, they'll read about Jesus meeting a blind person. But how many did he really meet? In the gospel, it only speaks of one, but Jesus met many blind people. So who might they be? Because in the gospel, it only says he met one blind man. Well, it was the people who were angry that Jesus healed the blind man on the Sabbath. They were blind inside because they couldn't see God's work. Had they seen the miraculous work and healing and been excited, they would have found God. But they didn't. They were blind to it and criticized Jesus for what he did and missed God's work. So in essence, they were blind. And I think that blindness is worse than the blind man that Jesus healed because they rejected Jesus and his work. If you remember last week, I talked a little bit about how we like to keep busy doing fun things and enjoying ourselves. And while I understand that, but when we do keep ourselves busy like that, we overlook God's presence in everyday life. We are blind to it because we're too busy. However, when we are doing things that aren't so exciting and we may think a little bit boring and we're a little calmer, we can see God's presence, often in ways that we would have overlooked had we been too busy. During Lent, while we're going through it, this is a wonderful time. It helps us to see God in everyday life, and in three different ways. First, through prayer. Second, through almsgiving, which means helping people in need. And third, through fasting. And I'm going to talk about each one of these and how they can help us find God. During Lent, we need to try and pray more. It's in that prayer that helps us open up and connect to God. And many people say that after they pray, they feel a sense of inner peace and can recognize God's presence throughout the day. Now, how can helping people or almsgiving help us find God? Well, Jesus says that when you're serving other people, you're serving me. You need to help people, prisoners, sick people, people who are thirsty, people who are hungry, people who need clothing. And Jesus said that when he judges us, he will say that yes, you fed me, you gave me water, you visited me in jail, you clothed me. And simply because we did it for other people, we're doing it for him. So that's almsgiving. Now fasting really kind of helps us resist temptation. We learn to say no by simply refusing to eat something during Lent. It helps us avoid sin and be closer to God. And in resisting sin, we can feel God's presence and be more connected to him. And I know that Lent is not always fun, and we like to go off and do all kinds of things, and that prayer takes time. But the prayer is what helps us connect to God. Helping other people is important because that's where we find God as well. In fasting, yes, we enjoy eating food, but by simply resisting and saying no, it teaches us and helps us to resist temptation and be closer to God. Thank you, and God bless you.